Ditch the V and get with the X. XLOOKUP will take care of all of your Excel lookup needs. It replaces the widely used VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP and index match functions. It is available to Microsoft 365, Excel 2021 and Excel for the web users. Let's take a look at this function and why you should add it to your Excel toolbelt.
Here are the advantages of the XLOOKUP function. It can look for values to the right or left of the reference, whereas VLOOKUP can only look to the right. It works vertically and horizontally. Function does not break when adding more columns to data ranges. When no match is found, it can return custom values, which eliminates the need to nest formulas for error handling. Powerful match and search modes to choose from. Can return an array, and not just a single value. The biggest and probably only disadvantage is backwards compatibility with older versions of Excel. If you need to share your workbooks with other users that still use old versions of Excel, the XLOOKUP function will not work for them. Let's work through some examples to display the power of XLOOKUP and teach you how to use it. The first example is of a basic XLOOKUP with only the required arguments used. Here we have a list of sales employees. We need to get their respective annual sales, which is contained in the sheet named Annual Sales. Start typing the XLOOKUP function. When you see it in the drop-down, hit the Tab key to select it. The lookup value is what we are searching for, which is the employee ID. The lookup array is where we want to look for the ID, which is in the employee sales sheet over here. Use Ctrl-Shift-Down arrow to select the whole list and hit F4 to fix the range. The return array is what we want to get back, which is the annual sales over here. Ctrl-Shift-Down and F4 to fix the range. The final arguments are optional and we will omit them for now. It is important to note that exact match is the default match mode for XLOOKUP. Press Enter and we're done. Send the formula down. Note that we have 2 employees showing up with NA errors. These are interns and do not appear in the employee sales listing. So let's go back to the formula and utilize the if not found argument. In this case, we want to return a 0 if a valid match is not found. You can customize this for whatever your specific situation calls for. Hit Enter and send the formula down. Now the errors are cleared and 0 is shown in its place. What if the employee data is provided to us horizontally like this? Don't worry, we can still use XLOOKUP. Horizontal lookups can be done as follows. Set the lookup value, this is what we want to find. The lookup array, this is where we need to go look. And the return array, this is where we want to return what we are looking for. Let's also add 0 for the if not found argument. Use a closing parenthesis and hit Enter. Here we have a bonus scheme table which determines the bonus payable depending on the annual sales made by an employee. We need to determine what bonus percentage applies to each employee. Lucky for us, XLOOKUP can take care of it. We can utilize the match mode argument of the XLOOKUP function. Let's see how it's done. Since we need to find the sales in the bonus scheme and return the relevant bonus percentage, our lookup value is the sales. Set the lookup array. This is where we need to go look for the sales, which is the sales column in the bonus scheme. Set the return array, which is what we want to return, in our case, the bonus percentage. Note that this would not even be possible with a VLOOKUP since the data to return is sitting on the left of the lookup value and we would have had to swap these 2 columns around in order to get a VLOOKUP to work. Let's also add 0 for the if not found argument. Now for the magic of the XLOOKUP match mode. There are 4 modes to choose from. For our example, we want to use exact match or next smaller item, represented by -1. Insert the closing parenthesis and hit Enter. Send the formula down. Due to the 0 value in the if not found argument, it correctly shows 0% bonus for the interns and everyone not meeting the 90,000 sales criteria. Ethan's 98,000 in sales puts him at 4% for the bonus scheme, which the XLOOKUP is correctly showing. Liam earned more than 150,000 and is correctly showing a 20% bonus. XLOOKUP's wildcard character match allows for partial matches. For example, we can find an employee's ID by using their name only. The lookup value in this case is the name over here. We also need a wildcard to form part of our lookup value. Since we only have the name, we need to add the wildcard after the name reference using an ampersand. Wildcards are indicated by an asterisk, and Excel considers this a text input and therefore requires quotation marks. Let's set the lookup array or where we need to look, and the return array or what we want returned. If we close the function and hit enter, we will see an error. This is because we did not specify the match mode. Let's fix that quickly by editing the function. We will skip over the if not found argument and set the match mode to wildcard character match represented by a 2. Now the function works correctly and Ethan's ID is correctly displayed by the XLOOKUP function. Let's take a look at two-way, or nested, lookup, whereby you can use an XLOOKUP as your lookup array or return array arguments. Let's see how this works with an example. First, we need to quickly set up the employee names as a drop-down list. To do this, go to Data and Data Validation. We need to do the same for the status, annual sales, and bonus percentage rows. Now let's enter the XLOOKUP function. The lookup value is the employee name from the drop-down list. The lookup array is the column with the names. We have set the second parameter to be any one of these 3 columns, so we will set the lookup array to include all 3 columns by nesting another XLOOKUP function with a lookup value as per this drop-down list, and the lookup array being these 3 columns. Let's ignore the optional arguments for now and insert our closing parenthesis. The function returns a value based on both of the selected drop-down selections. Ethan Davis's status is full-time. If we change the name to Ava, we see her status is intern. If we select annual sales, it shows her annual sales as 0. Please remember to ensure that your lookup array and return array are the same length. When using nested XLOOKUP, the length and width of all arrays must match. Based on the examples we have gone through, it is clear to see that XLOOKUP is the king of lookups. If not working with Microsoft 365, Excel 2021 or Excel for the web, XLOOKUP will not be available to you. If that is the case, it is suggested that you master the index and match function, which is a popular improvement to the VLOOKUP function and its inherent limitations.
Thank you for watching this video on how to use the new and improved Excel XLOOKUP. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to stay updated when a new tutorial drops. May your formulas be strong and your cells be error-free. As always, happy spreadsheeting.